Okay, my friends, I got a very good one for you today because today I'm going to show you a very effective homemade pesticide preventative pesticide that you can make utilizing two plants that are very common, and they can be utilized together, preferably, or even one-on-one. If you can only access one or the other, that's good too. All right. So these plants, you see, have very strong odoriferous resins, and pests don't usually mess with them because of their qualities, their essential oils and their terpenes and things like that. So what we're going to do, and I'm going to show you how, is we're going to extract the terpenes and the essential oils and all of that into the liquid, and then we are going to use it as a preventative in our garden. This is not the exact kind. Now, if you have a big infestation of insects that are already there, then that requires some heavier artillery, and I will make videos for that as well, don't worry. But for now, I'm going to show you the preventative type, okay? So we're going to use this regularly before we have much pest pressure, and it's going to keep us from getting the pest pressure. That's what it's all about, okay? So let me show you exactly how to make it, and then at the end of the video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use it. So make sure that you understand it at the very end, and if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, first thing we want to do is locate a patch of vibrant mint. Now we want to get to the mint before it has flowered. You can still use it after it's flowered, but the concentration of oils and odoriferous resins are highest before it flowers. Now it does not matter what kind of mint you have. If it's spearmint, peppermint, chocolate mint, this here is apple mint, it all works, all right? So cut it down, and if you have a patch of mint, you know that you don't need to worry about whether it's going to grow back or not. It grows back very quickly, very vigorously. So get as much as you can, okay? We take the whole thing, all right? You can even use the roots if you want to pull it all up. Once we have a pot full of mint, then we're going to kick on the burner and submerge all of it in boiling water. Now, we want to, at the very least, cover all the herb, okay? So you want all the herb to be submerged in the water. And we'll keep the heat on high to bring it up to the boil, but then once it gets to a boil, bring it down to low so it's just on a nice simmer. And let that simmer for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes maximum, because we don't want this stuff to go too long. So just keep it on a nice rolling boil. See how it's nice and dark green, like the color of dark green tea? That's what we want. Now it's ready to be canned. Okay, now once it's nice and boiling, then we want to pack it while it's boiling hot. Now for this, I'm going to use 2 of the half-gallon canning jars, mason jars that I use for canning. But you can use whatever you want, any kind of old jar, anything that's heat-proof, okay? Even milk jugs will work, but they might get a little bit soft, so you just have to be careful from the heat. But pour it into the mason jar and then just put a cap on. It can be a used lid from a previous canning thing, because it doesn't matter that much if this is an absolute seal or not, but it's going to seal perfectly fine because as it cools, it's going to suck out all the air, and this is going to keep for a number of weeks, even a couple of months, but we're going to use it way before any of that, okay? So make a few jars of storage, and then whatever's left, we're going to use fresh. Okay, now the next thing we're going to use is oregano. It's a very strong scented plant, all right? So we're going to, but this is a lot more concentrated, and there tends to not be as much oregano. So we're going to use a smaller pot, but we're still going to cut as much oregano as we can, preferably before flower. Once we have a pot full of oregano, we are going to do the same exact thing. We're just going to pour boiling water to completely cover it, and we're going to let that boil with the lid on for about 20 to 30 minutes maximum. And we're going to let it at a slow boil, okay? So once it comes to a boil, bring it back down to a low. So it's just barely a simmer, all right? And man, this oregano is so strong. I'm like coughing. My eyes were burning. I mean, it's very, very potent, okay? So after about 20, 30 minutes like this of a simmer, then we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to can it. And all that really entails is we're going to pour the boiling liquid directly into a glass jar with a tight-fitting lid, okay? You can do this with old pickle jars, with old canning lids, and whatever it is that you want, okay? Just make sure that it's heat safe. And this is going to be the stuff that we store. Whatever's left in the pot, we're going to use first. We're just going to keep it in the refrigerator, and we're going to use that first. Okay, and now we're ready to apply it. So acquire you a pump sprayer of some kind. This is just a standard one from Menards. It's 2 gallons, okay? And then the next ingredient is going to be Castile soap. Now, you can use Dr. Bronner's, peppermint, or any of the different scents are fine, but peppermint works the best. You can use that. But me, of course, I make my own homemade Castile soap, which if you want, I can make a video showing how to do that. It's a bit more complicated though than what we've done so far. But yeah, this stuff's nice and powerful and effective. But you can use the Dr. Bronner's in place of it. Now, the ratio of this pesticide liquid is going to be 1 cup per gallon. So this is a 2-gallon sprayer, so we're going to add 1 cup of the mint and 1 cup of the oregano. After that, we're going to add 1 ounce per gallon of the Castile soap, of either the Dr. Bronner's or of your homemade soap. Now, do not skip this step, okay? The soap is very important because it's a wetting agent. So it acts to break the surface tension of the water on the leaves, and it allows the leaves to be penetrated by this substance, and it helps it to stick. And it also helps to dissolve the soft bodies of soft-bodied insects. So all around, it's all part of the concoction. Now, something else that I like to add that is not necessary, but I add it myself, is 1 ounce per gallon of the homemade fish fertilizer, because the plants go crazy over this mixture. Although you don't have to use the fish fertilizer, I strongly recommend it. Then just fill the sprayer full of the rest of the 2 gallons of water and take it outside, pump it up, and spray it on the plants. Now, this works really good, but you must spray not in direct sunlight, all right? It has to be, I always do it in the dark. The only reason I'm not doing it in the dark is because I'm trying to show you guys. But you just coat everything in it. Coat the top of the leaf, coat the underside of the leaf. It's not going to hurt anything. It's just going to benefit everything, okay? So you can see here how good, how big and healthy these collard green leaves are. And this is 100% natural. There's a little tiny bit of pest pressure, but that we can live with. Okay, we're still getting big, beautiful, nutrient-dense produce right out the back door. So there you go, my friends. Stay on top of this stuff and you pretty much won't have any issues. You will have plenty of produce to eat, okay? So watch the video I made about 7 plants to intercrop though as well, because you want to be doing that. So put those plants throughout the garden, but also be making this stuff and using it preemptively. So 2 or 3 or even 4 or 5 times a week, spray like I just showed you to spray. I do it at nighttime, okay? I just did it here, not nighttime, just so I could show you. But never do it in direct sunlight, okay? That's very important. I go out there with a headlamp and do it then, all right? So let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, and this is a preventative type. So the next pesticide type video I'm going to show you is going to be one that is going to be even stronger yet for if you actively have pests. And then after that one, I'll show you the Mac Daddy of them all, the real heavy artillery. But we got to take it slow, okay? So, all right. Give the video a thumbs up.